And let's go. 1, 2, 3, let's go. What's up, everybody? This is the Ham Radio Crash Course coming to you Friday, man. Thank everything. Thank the radio magic RF that it is Friday. It was a busy week. Busy week. And today dangerously came close to not postponing the stream, but got real close to me having to put the time in and run it out. So let's see, everybody's hopping in. I see lots of activity on the stream side, on the chats. Welcome, everybody. I hope your week was good. Hope things are even better now. 8 seconds late. Whew. Zach. We got Zach in the chat. He'll be posting links to Discord for the after chat just for you guys as you're rolling in here so you know it's coming up. I got a little audio to play for you before we switch over to the main feed. Check this out.
Whiskey Oscar, Japan Alpha 1, Whiskey Oscar 5932.
That's Ducey Island.
Japan Alpha 1, Whiskey Oscar 5932.
Impeccable. That guy didn't understand they were operating split.
Japan Alpha 1, Whiskey Delta 5932.
That is Ducey Island. Ducey Island. Wow. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ducey Island in a second. That audio was on 15 meters, and I think my radio was showing it as S4, S5, something along those lines. That is a very, very, very good signal that they have. I don't know what they're rocking. I tried to call twice. Well, I called a lot, but they kind of called back to me 2 times, so I missed it. What am I talking about? Well, all right. We'll do what we normally do here, right? This is the Ham Radio Crash Course. This is about learning together ham radio and growing in increments as we get better and better moving forward with the hobby. This is a lifetime hobby. There's so many things for you to enjoy, and what I like to bring to you guys is a little new thing once a week that we talk about. And it's usually what's happened in the news or what people are interested in or what I think's interested in. Or what I think is interesting. Good. That's very good. So what are we moving forward with radio today? Well, I'm just going to throw this out there because this is a big weekend and we're going to talk about it in the quote-unquote news section. Learn how to do SSTV on your BaoFeng, even if it's off the speaker, into like a phone app or something like that, okay? Go download the app. You need to do that this weekend. If you got a BaoFeng, you need to get that thing programmed up because let's roll right into the news. Because the International Space Station is doing an SSTV event where the Russian cosmonauts are going to be playing SSTV pictures of NASA throughout the history. It's NASA on the air for, I think, the rest of this month and into December, and it's a pretty big event. So if you have a radio that can do pointing to the sky to do SSTV, I suggest you look into it. There's apps you can download for your phone to track the ISS, and there's also apps you can download to do SSTV. This is not a transmitting thing, so anybody without a license, you can do this too. You just need to be able to get that sound into an app or into a recorder, which you then bring to your computer, and then you can see the pictures as well. This is a lot of fun, so I really, really recommend people take advantage of it and get involved. Okay, news story 2. In fact, let me show you this first. So this is Ducey Island out in the middle of the Pacific, South Pacific. It's the 19th most requested de-expedition location. And there is a team there. They're going to be there through the 3rd of November is the last that I heard. And right now they're operating on 40, 30, 15, and 12 CW. They're operating 15 single sideband, and they're operating on 30 and 17 on FT8. That's all happening right now. You are literally seeing the feed of what they're doing, right? Very, very cool. How do I show you? Can I show you? No, I can't. On the right-hand scroll side, you can't see it because it's cut off, are all the last stations they worked. I just played you the audio from them. They are able to get picked up. Now, I'm close to them in California, but they're getting picked up all over the place. You can see some of these locations. Japan, that looks like South Africa is the far right side. Very, very cool. Very cool. So this is their website. This is their website. VP6D. VP6D is where you go for all the information. It is a cool looking... let me do this. Boop. I'll just cover my face with it. That is a cool looking island right there. You see pictures of Ducey Island like a lot because it shows up in a lot of places, and it is really cool looking. So I'll shrink that down a bit. So maybe make that a little bit better. Okay, cool. Eris, I already mentioned it. ARISS is getting ready for the amateur radio on the International Space Station, announcing Russian slow scan TV event. So make sure you get ready. It's tomorrow, basically tomorrow morning, because it's a UTC time. So it's going to start at 1900 UTC. Oh, sorry, 1000 UTC on the 27th, which we're already, my time is 2 o'clock UTC. So get ready, because it's only 8 hours away. All right. Very, very cool. A couple of things to mention other than that. How is everybody? Let's check out the chat. Let me go back to me here. Flat Earthers. Uh-oh, we got Flat Earthers in the house. Good evening. How's it going? Link. Oh, yeah, links in the description, so make sure you grab those links for all the news that I gave. Angel says, hello, dear friend and amateur radio operators. What's up? And I forgot to say, what's up, Ham Fam? How you doing? I hope things are well. N6 Oil, Rory's here, first time watching. Hey, Rory, thanks for checking us out. We'll be getting to the beer in a second. Carl's in the house from Malaysia. Let's see, who else we got? Matthew Wang, is a sound card still needed for some digital mode? So if you want to do FT8 or other things like that, yeah, it helps. A signal link is something that a lot of amateur radio operators use, and what I recommend is go on Amazon and buy one of those USB dongles. It's just a little square one that has a mic in and an audio out, and there's your sound card. Matt Ford, keep up the great work, Josh. Hope to work you on the air soon. KF5JRP. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that very much. As far as working me on the air, I will do FT8 tonight after the live stream when we go to the Discord chat. So you can talk to me directly if you want to try and schedule a QSO. FT8's been pretty good these last couple of days, so we should take advantage of it while we're at the high of the low sunspot, something like that. First time watching the live stream, says Corey. Shoutouts from Evansville, Indiana. Right on. Thank you so much for watching. Alberto says, thanks for being very informative, clear, and concise. Why lock down a Chinese radio? I will explain that. Don't steal my thunder yet. We haven't even gotten there. Got to get through the news first. I know people always say, it's like, could you make a cut-down version of this video that just is the topic? Because I don't like all this talking that you do in the beginning and all these side discussions that you have going to the comments and whatnot. My light's all the way on because I'm getting not greeny. I'm getting some sound, some noise around me with the green screen. Anyway, all right, now we're gonna have some fun. Dipping into the brew for today, the Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout. This is a stout with cacao nibs and handlebar coffee added and aged in whiskey barrels. It's an Epic Brewing Company Exponential Series. I saw this and I was like, well, that looks substantial. Let's try that out. Looks good. And I'm rocking San Mig glass for all my Filipino friends that are in the show right now. Friends of the Philippines. Love me some Filipino food. Filipinos, very active in the amateur radio community in the Philippines, by the way. I know Carl's in the house too, so. And Malaysia, them too. They're active too. Woo! Oh, that's a big boy beer. That is a big boy beer. It's got like a chocolatey kind of taste, but then it's like a bitter, almost black pepper kind of thing going on. Woo! Chris R. asks, where do I get my craft beers from? So, close by work is a Bevmo. So I often go to the Bevmo just for sake of time. But if I have my choice, I go to Total Wine & More. I much prefer Total Wine & More. And this last weekend, I was actually in San Marcos, which is by San Diego. And I went to Absolution Brewing. So I get down south often for craft brews. So nothing goes better to me. Many things go well with radio, but craft brew goes best. Or one of the best. All right. So Patron's Pick. We had the vote for Patron's Pick for my $10 patron level. And they have picked for next week, which would be the first Friday in November. The topic is Effectively find frequencies to use, scanning, and common things to know when making a contact. So basically, how to do a QSO. Single sideband, how to do a single sideband QSO. So that's actually going to be really useful. It's a good beginner topic, and it may help some of those that have mic fright. So it'll work with HTs, whether you're on VHF, UHF, or HF radio. So that should be a lot of fun, and it'll be nice and relaxing for me because I only have to put a couple slides together, and we can just work radio. Hell, we can even turn it into a, if somebody wants to try and work a net with me. Oh, I could be really ambitious. I might be able to get the beam up in time for that. That would be amazing. That would be dynamite. Okay. All right. So with that said, we're here to talk about locking down a BaoFeng. Most of you guys watched my FCC video. You've seen other FCC videos here on YouTube. We don't have a clear decision on how this whole thing is going out. And a lot of people have messaged me and asked, you mentioned locking down your radio. What does that mean? Like, what do you do with that? What's the point? Why would you want to do that? Well, the enforcement notice made it pretty clear when you look at the amateur radio quote unquote exception, that to be able to use a BaoFeng, right, that's not certified, that you'd have to lock it down to only the amateur radio frequencies. So if you want to adhere to this enforcement notice, then I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, that's the main reason for making this video. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, let's say you have a young kid, and they get their license. Maybe you only want them to be able to transmit on the amateur radio frequencies. That's a thought. Or maybe you got a new friend, new to ham radio, new technician, and you only want them to or maybe they only want to transmit on amateur radio frequencies. Maybe they really wanted to load it up with scanner frequencies, but you're concerned they might PTT that thing and accidentally transmit on those frequencies that the police operate on. Okay, there's a reason. Yeah, so there's lots of good reasons why, well, good is relative in this case, but there are lots of reasons why you might want to lock down a BaoFeng. And it's not that difficult, which we will cover right now. So this is, get me off of there. There we go. So this is my Windows laptop that I do most of my radioing or radio programming from because it just makes things really, really easy. So I just use Chirp down here. Okay. Chirp. Everybody loves Chirp. All right. So I'm going to take my BaoFeng, and I did this a couple of times last night. Always have fun with this. I'm going to walk through some of the trials and tribulations that can be connecting a BaoFeng. In fact, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to close Chirp. I am sorry. I should not have opened Chirp. I'm going to first connect the radio. Okay. Radio on. The radio's on. Okay. Take your connection at the end. Then plug it into the computer. Hopefully you get some kind of audio tone that says, yep, it's connected. It was there. If you didn't hear it, it was there. Okay, now that the radio's connected on to your computer and the computer has said, yep, there's a radio there. Now turn on Chirp. So you can do the download from radio that just verifies that you've got everything set up. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. Go to, we'll figure this out. I think it's COM4. Is it? It is. We got that flashing light. Whew. Okay, so we did this right the first time. You may have to play around with this. And I'm not far away from taking like a whiteout pen and just writing the COM numbers around the laptop and throwing some clear nail polish over it. Because I sometimes forget, and I hate having to look it up on the computer. Also, can you see it? No, it's connected. I took a label maker and I put a long flag label maker on the cable. So all my computer cables connecting to radios all are flagged now. So I really recommend you do something like that. And yes, somebody mentioned it before I could. William Blayton said, make sure you are on a silent channel. Don't leave your radio on the weather channel because it's constantly transmitting and you'll never be able to kick the radio over into programming mode. So here's a BaoFeng, fully loaded BaoFeng for my local area. So let's say, you know, I've got some things on here like weather. Here's a bunch of weather stations, right? Well, those are all operating outside the amateur bands. I've got some FRS channels in here, FRS1, FRS5, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, okay? So what you want to do, again, the BaoFeng is kind of open, right, with its programming. It comes to you, the chip can go from like 136 upwards of like 170 and just a dumb 400 through 480 or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it's beyond the amateur band. So if this is the amateur space for 70 meters, then it can go this far. And 2 meters, same thing. It can do this much, but you're restricted to this much. Well, how do you restrict it? Restricting it's pretty easy. You go to settings, right? You go to advanced, which other settings? Other settings. So what you do is you go to this VHF lower limit, VHF being 2 meters, and UHF lower limit being the low end of 70 centimeters, and the upper limit in megahertz being the upper limit right there. So 420 through 450, 144 through 148. Those are the settings for lowering the basically setting where within the wide range you want to have the radio operate. So what you do, save this off like that. I like to save it. I just let it use its default save thing because it puts a date on it, so you may be able to remember that. While I'm in here, I'm going to mention a couple of the things. So you may want power on message to be, you know, instead of power on BaoFeng, I want to say Hashnasi. Where's the other one? Oop. Invalid setting. Must be, oh, that's why. So I'll just make it Hosh. Boop. And where's my good one? Ah, okay. I got asked this in the chat. Can you guys see okay? FYYCQ. Let me make sure I'm good. Everybody's seeing okay, good. Sometimes the fonts can be a little small. In fact, why don't I do this? Because most of the action is going to happen right here. We'll just pull it off the side of the screen. Hopefully that makes sense. So remember the BaoFeng has like an A channel and a B channel. That's what that button's for. So you can kind of be listening to two channels, not simultaneously, but one will have precedence, but you can be monitoring two channels at one time. So what you want to do, how I use it, is I make my channel A frequency mode, right? There we go, frequency mode. You can do channel, name, or frequency. I do frequency. And for channel B, you can do name. Now, I'm mentioning this because while you're under the hood doing settings, you might as well do the other stuff as you're going along, right? So basically, at that point, go through here, check the rest of them out. VFO A's, B's, fine. That's your radio preset. You don't need to mess with TTMF unless you're going to do that. And you can change your colors on the LEDs, that kind of stuff, but you don't need to do that. So then go back to memory. All right? And you're going to go upload to radio. Okay. And boom. So it's loading. Follow along with the green scrolling line. That was a long load. Okay. All right, so we're done. There you go. Ready? Well, that didn't work. Wait, no, that's because that's amateur. Hold on. There we go. Ah, you're so loud. Hold on.
0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 8.
Come on. Let me go down to FRS now. Let's double check too while we're doing that. Hold on. Okay. So now, if you did things right, let me go to
1 1 5
0 26.
6.
So I'm on FRS 10. Oh. Well, that's not good. What's going on there? I'm still transmitting. Huh. Okay. Let's show you what's going on. So what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to close this guy. Remember, we saved him off. And I'm going to open my template file. It's easier if I show you like this. There's my template that has a lot of stuff on it. So also, Zach mentions in the chat that you can't really... Hold on, let me upload this. See if this works. It's not going to download. Oh, no, hold on. So basically what happens is I wasn't in VFO mode, so hold on. Let me show you. I want to do weather. I want to show you the weather, all the weather frequencies and whatnot. Somebody got suspended? Is that going to work? Oh, it's okay. Let me show you what happened. I accidentally clicked the memory. I was on memory.
Frequency mode.
Okay. So we're on 142, 145, which is in space of the amateur bands. So you'd have to go down to like 140.
8.
Oop, that's not right.
8, 8, 8, 1, 4, 0.
Is that loud
0,
enough?
0, cancel.
Why are you doing that? 1,
1,
4,
4,
0.
0,
0,
0,
0,
0, cancel. 1, 4, 0, 1, 0, cancel.
You can't type it in. Okay? When you try and do... Where is it? It's hard to do it this way.
1, 4,
Right? And then you go 0.
0, 0, 0, cancel.
Okay, so you can't go outside the frequency space anymore. Uh-oh. We got a kid loose in the house. That must not have went very well at the old trunk or treat. They went out doing trick or treating, and I think it didn't go that well. I don't know what's going on. I thought there's supposed to be trick or treating at the school. Okay, so basically, when you're in VFO mode, you can't go outside of that space anymore. And so let's do this. Let's go into 4, 4, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that's fine. Now you can do that. Okay, let's go down. Nope. You can't go below 144 anymore. You can only go up and then back down. So you can't make channels, you can't save it after that, so if we wanted to try and save it, so... Whoop. I can't even type in the I can't make the VFO go below my section that we added, so it won't let me go into that. I realized something, though. It let me go all the way up through 148.999. Interesting. 148.999. It should have just stopped at 148, which is the upper limit on 2 meters. So I actually didn't know that. So we found a little upper limit thing. So I'm going to put this down to 147, and I'm going to save it off. Because if my hunch is correct, it's going to go to 147.999. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to close it like that. And I'm going to disconnect again. Because every time, oh, by the way, here's my little flag. BaoFeng. Every time I disconnect the radio, I usually try and just, redo things to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. All right, so now we're connected again. Let me load up Chirp. Get more beer. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to download. I don't have a template file for the BFF8HP. No problem. Let's do that. Oh, now we're in trouble. Radio did not respond. This is about what I expected to happen. Once you start going live on the BaoFengs fight back. Oh, because it thinks it's a UV82. That's not true. It's a BFF8HP. And there it goes. Okay. It's Swift. Yeah, this is a good weekend for satellites. ISS, too. Make sure you get on that. We're loading. We're loading. We're loading. Gene Pearson asks, are the BaoFengs still available on Amazon now, the illegal ones? No. No. So they will not be the illegal ones. Most likely they'll be the ones that are certified. Okay, so we've downloaded from radio. What I'm going to do, go back into the settings, yeah. Other settings. We're going to change this to 7 and see what we get. I actually didn't test this beforehand. I was like, 148. Yep, that's good. Save this off. Did you save it? What have you done? Oh, I just overloaded the template. Whatever. And then we'll upload to radio. Somebody said the cure for BaoFeng is to license yourself on the other frequency. Not really. Jason Howe, maybe you should add more details in the chat. Oh, that's not right. What's going on here? There's no reason to license yourself on other frequencies. Are you talking about... I don't know what you mean. You'll have to add more details in there. Yeah, override. Because licensing yourself on other frequencies means like you're getting an FCC business license, which is not a broadcasting license, and that means you're just going to talk to your friends and whomever else has the radios that are keyed on those frequencies and in a certain geographic location, which isn't really fun. Okay, did we get this sorted out? We did. There we go. So my thought is 148 means 148 all the way up to 0.9999. Programming logic, right? They're taking the largest whole number and just saying, well, he wants the 4 or the 8, so give him everything up to 99999 before going to 9. Okay, there's some kind of logic there. So now, if I type in 148 000, cancel! So that's it. So now I can go to 147999. Kilo India 6, November Alpha Zulu. So what did that do? Well, you basically just lost 148, because if you don't do that, you're going to get 148.9999, which 148.999, that's it. Which you know, that's technically stepping outside of your frequency allocation. And it is FM, so it does take up some bandwidth, and you're going to have to worry about that. You should never really park yourself right at the band edge anyway, so that's not that big a deal. I'm not too crazy about that. Yeah, so maybe somebody clarified what they meant, and it sounds like upgrading license to general. Yeah, Rick, I was hoping you meant upgrade to general or extra, but you still are going to use VHF, UHF. Do the out-of-error ARS memories still work? Yes, so Smoking Ape, that's the problem. That's one of the problems here. So this is FRS 10, and don't tell anybody I did this, but I'm kerchunking FRS 10. Yes. So in short, you'd also have to program your radio to be off of all the frequencies, which has been my nit from the beginning. Is I like NOAA. I like having a little handheld radio that can operate NOAA when I don't have my emergency weather radio on me. So that was my whole, one of my major complaints with the whole thing. Is like, well, now you've hamstrung me to only operate in the amateur radio space, which is, not at all agreeable. So yeah, I mean, I can rehash my whole thing here. But there are some people who will want to do that. Or maybe they're in Aries, or they're in Races, or whatever, and they've got certain legal obligations that they have to do. So, you can still do that. Now, so let's say we go back here. And we want those the weather radios. Let's see if this works. I don't think it will. We're going to try and download from radio again. Stop taking it off of the computer, and then you won't have a problem. I know, right? I should just leave it connected. Well, then you won't be able to hear it. Go! Good. Yes, the Smoking Ape has nailed it. You can disable it to where you can't transmit. So it's like split operation. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. At least how I used to do it, and things change on Chirp a little bit. All right, so we're going to go to, where is it? Duplex, it's split. split. And why did you do that? Wait, what just happened? This is some kind of weird... All right, let me look over here because this is making things difficult. So I want duplex mode to split. And I want the offset to be 99999999999. Why is it not working? 999.9999. That's the way you used to be able to do it. Or, let's see, did they change it? We're kind of going off the radar a little bit. Can you split off? Duplex off? Will that work? Oh yeah, Zach says it works on Windows that you don't have to disconnect it. It probably does, but I've had problems both ways on the many, many different versions of Chirp that I've used and played with. So I always try to be careful. So duplex off, we're going to upload to radio. This is actually something that I used to do in the past, and the way we used to do it was you'd set the duplex to split and then just add a really large frequency because it lets you use it. That's how Chirp actually programmed the solution, but now they have off. That was a new option, by the way. I'm an old timer now. My Chirp didn't have an off, you see. Doesn't not can. Exactly. So now we set that to stay channel 2. So now I should be able to... Ooh. Somebody chatting on there? Okay.
Channel mode.
So we're going to 002. Which is... Nope, that wasn't it. You can still transmit on that. Doesn't work. That's about what I thought. Doesn't work that way. Nope, no, you're going the wrong way. There we go. Oh. So now we have quite a conundrum because I thought that worked and now it doesn't work. So you need to do split. The duplex was set to off, or maybe people are just catching up. Maybe you guys are just catching up. So now we're gonna do. See, your Josh, your Hashnasi can say when he is sometimes not equipped with the right answer. So we're going to go to the web here and make sure we're doing the right thing. There you go. So who's this? This is Bite Bang. So all right, when did he post this? See, my problem is that they changed. I'm telling you, they literally changed the way you do this now a couple of times. Well, that's not helpful. Mm-hmm. It has been set. What are you talking about? Okay, here, I'll do it again. So, okay. Let's do that. Oh, maybe that was it. Okay, hold on. I'll accept if I was wrong here. Oh, wrong one. Let me switch back. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best possible information. So it's possible because I was still clicked on the off that it was, it's taking it. Excuse me. Corey Davis asks, how can I tell if I have a pre or post band BaoFeng? Well, your pre-band BaoFengs all had flash hiders and pistol grips. That was the easiest way to tell. So that's how you knew you had a pre-band. All the post-band stuff had to go to a Monte Carlo style and had to have a muzzle brake instead of a flash hider. That was how you knew it was post-band. Did you guys get that? There's no such thing as like a post-band or pre-band. All right, let's try this again. Aha! That was it. I can't jam you. I can't jam you, weather station. The FCC's coming. So that was it. I screwed up. I'll show you what I did, and so you don't do it. So what I did was I clicked off like that, and it was still selected. You see how that drop down, lower level, the lower button is, or the fold down button as we used to call it when we were developing GUIs. That was selected. So you gotta select it. Who said told you? William Blanton. You're right, bud. You're right. So new feature, good, off, love that. And make sure you click off of it. So go to the next one and go down. Yeah. I got a fully semi-automatic BaoFeng now. Oh, I don't do those high capacity batteries, man. They're not allowed in California. Yeah. Okay. What else can we do with this BaoFeng? It is sufficiently long, or well, what we'll go. We'll let it. We'll let it go, Jason. Careful with the... Mind your profanity. Okay, so now we have a functioning BaoFeng.
Channel mode 002.
So, weather radio, working. You have to go in and set your duplex to off for the things that are outside the amateur radio spectrum, or amateur radio service, however you use that acronym. And then you got to go in and set your bookends. Bookends of frequency, right? Upper and lower limit. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I understand why some people might want to do it, and I'm making this video so that you can do it. In fact, I should be like this, right? I think I should do this. This is in response to FCC's enforcement notice. So if you feel that you must do this, then do it. And that's fine. It's your radio. Do what you want. I'm a big pro-freedom guy. So you're free. You own it. You do whatever you want. Let's read the comments where we got those sweet, sweet flashing warning signs. William Blanton, has anyone used the battery that takes AA batteries? Yes, I have. And it lowers the output to about 1.5 watt. I think there's a couple. There's a 6 AAA battery. Do I have one? Hold on. I'm able to show you to you. Let me show you something. I have one. It's back behind me in the HT corral. But yeah, I have a 6-cell BaoFeng battery holder, and then I have a 4 AA cell for the FT2DR. Let's see. I talked to someone the other day, and we were talking guns and radios. BaoFeng was referred to as the high point equivalent of radios. He is not wrong. He's not wrong. And as soon as the Chinese companies can do a $100 bill skin on this thing, I will buy a ton more of those because that is just hilarious. And I will go to Hamvention and I will rock that all day. BaoFeng with a bullet button. There you go. That's kind of an interesting. I mean, the more the more things are happening with the FCC, the more it feels like guns, like a lot. So it's a little scary. Jay Bird asks, how can I program my 9R with Google Chromebook? Any help? So if you can't load Chirp, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's a Chromebook uses Google Chrome's operating system, so you'd have to like boot to Linux or something like that. So you'll have to use a USB stick with a Linux distro, boot from the Linux distro, download and run Chirp, program your radio. So the best way to do a load on a Chromebook is to run Linux. Electro Hacker said, did anyone notice the BaoFeng in The Walking Dead last week? I got so many messages from people telling me, did you watch The Walking Dead because they had a BaoFeng in it? I don't have cable television. I don't watch television. I watch television. I don't watch over-the-air television or cable. So I see Walking Dead always 1 year after when it shows up on Netflix. What is the 50 cal of ham radio? The 50 cal of ham radio has got to be the guy who's got the 100-foot plus tower with the massive, multi-element beam, multi-band, and has a full legal limit amplifier. Zach says factory reset the radio and see if it removes the block. My radio might be old enough that it goes back to China. It might go to Chinesium. But I guess that doesn't matter. Stop it!
3, 2, 1.
Alright, we're doing it for science. Here we go.
Initialization.
Yeah! Straight China. Whoa! Okay. It does! It's locked. It's locked. So I'm gonna do 141. Okay, 141. 0, 0, 0. Xiao, and it goes back to 147995 because we limited it to 147. 你好吗 KI6 NAZ. That was probably not sensitive. Let me consult my Chinese wife on whether that was insensitive or not. Okay. So yes, it does keep the limit. So that's actually pretty cool. Wicked Perfect says saw some dude at the Crystal Cathedral parking lot rocking a plate carrier and a BaoFeng. Mark, I use my BaoFeng to monitor rail and marine traffic across the bridge that can hold up barges for the rock yard and the boats. I don't know if I'm illegally using my personal rail. So you're if you're not so Hashnasi POV is you are not doing anything wrong as long as you're not transmitting. It sounds like you're just receiving. That is fine. But technically, per the FCC enforcement notice, you're not even supposed to be using it if it's not certified, since it sounds like you might not be a ham. Maybe you are. Anyway. Yeah, I love lasers. It's probably stored in some kind of EEPROM. Otherwise, that wouldn't... I mean, it's pretty low level. That's a pretty low level setting. So that's pretty interesting. David Veronica says, radios don't transmit on illegal frequencies. People do. It's true. It's true. And the frequencies aren't illegal. It's just we're not lawfully allowed to transmit there. It's an important distinction. Yeah, all rights reserved on my videos. You can't just take, me saying, Ni hao ma, KI6NAZ. I mean, you can, and I'm not going to do anything about it, but, it's my property. William Blanton, receiving unencrypted traffic. So, encrypted traffic largely means that you're some member of the government. Non-government officials can't use encrypted traffic, whether it's amateurs or public broadcast, whatever. We're generally not allowed to use encryption. You got to be a police officer or a member of the military, etc., 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 to encrypt. The feeling you have to jam. So this is one thing. I mean, I hate this. I hate that. I hate that so much. That is the worst thing about these radios. I hate the fact that you can do that. That it transmits the alarm over the frequency you're on. That is crazy go nuts. That is like insane. And we have my repeater. We have tons of people. I mean, we could probably turn the repeater up right now. And within 15 minutes, we'll hear somebody go with their BaoFeng. Senk. Good. It's Senk, right? Good clarification. You can encrypt for communications for RC control. Yes. Good exception. Yes, and everybody's jumping on that. There's too much lag. I let the lag go too far. Correct. Yes, a good exception. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. And so if you do the robot enough, then you can be someone who gets radio controlled, and then you can use encryption. Is that right? Is that how that works? Mm-hmm. Can the alarm be disabled? Well, let's look. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Oh, if you want to really bug people, turn on the Roger beep. Oh, let me go back here. Hold on. Turn on the Roger beep. You'll make lots of friends. So make sure you leave that off. Can you use voice scramble? No, absolutely not. Reset menu. You can disable that. That's pretty cool. All menus enabled. I didn't know about that one. So you keep some kid from knocking off your radio. I'm looking for alarm mode or something along those lines. Did I miss it? Alarm code. There's an alarm code. Oh my God, Rick Caldill. Few people had the Roger beep on Win system the other night. They got eaten alive. Man, yes, that is a big. So that was a thing when I was brand new, and I had my Yaesu FT2DR, and I was talking, and I was using that not fusion, but whatever that button was. I had it click. It was stock that way. They had a website, their main website, linked and said, please hold this button down before you key up on our repeater. And it was the tone button. And so I stopped and I did it and I apologized profusely. But yeah, I caught myself in that very thing. Let's see. Advanced. Oh, somebody said advanced. Okay. It is alarm modes. Tone is sight. So there. If you change it, let's do it. Thank you, chat. Yeah, and everybody get ready because we gotta talk to the ISS, or we gotta listen to the ISS soon. How many hours? Only 5 more hours. Oh, beauty! There it goes. Dat Roger beep on DMR tackle at 310. Yeah. Can you explain the ISS? Tell me. Yeah, the ISS is going to transmit slow scan television over, what do they use? 144.520? Hold on. They're going to use the 145.800. They're going to transmit on 145.800, and on a pass, you can hold your radio up in the sky and it's going to go like SSTV, and you can record it, or you can hold your phone with a SSTV app up against it and it will capture an image. Because those tones are actually lines getting printed like a dot matrix printer. It goes, but instead it's like that. So it's just like that. You could actually record that and play it, and you'll get a beautiful picture of my face. Okay, let's try it. We're going to alarm out. Oh. Well, we're going to go off this frequency, that's for sure. Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu radio check. If we don't hear anything back, then we'll try the alarm. So I don't know what that's doing because the little green and red light is flashing. Oh, we're back to America. Okay, so anytime that you get stuck and you don't want to hear the ni hao ma, reprogram it. But a lot. Who is it? BOI. He likes to leave his radio in Chinese mode. That's always very funny to me. Okay. Well, it's not difficult to do this. It's not at all difficult. This is a nice, easy video. So, we've covered all the bases. I'm willing to explore other things if you'd like to, because this covers pretty much the scheduled programming for the evening. So, if you... Oh, I could do that. I could do that, Zach. I think I know a guy who's got another radio. Hold on. Yeah, isn't that dumb that I'm sitting around, like, I literally have radios all around me, and he's like, have a second radio to see. It's like, yeah, I could do that. I guess I could do that. I mean, I don't know. Okay. Here we go. Nope. Not picking up on the other radio. Got that radio all set up for SSTV comms. Ken Pitoff, or Pitroff? Is it Pitroff? Pitroff says, good evening, Hosh. How you doing? Okay. So, yeah, isn't that funny, William Blatton? When you're like, if only I had another radio than this one BaoFeng. And I'm like, there's a radio, there's a radio, there's another radio. There's like 5 radios behind me. That's another radio. It's just radios everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I could do that. Oh, Brian Ogram says, thanks for doing this, Hosh, or Josh. Jeez. Now when you take your real first name and you impart your fake first name. I just talked about this in the Aries meeting last night. K60GR, right on. I do. I need a actually a utility bandolier would be preferred, because then you could just. So my thought was, it would be like a free floating, like a suspended belt over like another belt, so that you could just rotate to the next radio. Because then you just right here and you go boom boom, next radio, boom boom, next radio, boom boom, next radio, boom boom. You know what I mean? It's got to be a rotating bandolier of radios. That would be the preferred way to do this. Quick question. Best starter radio DMR, GD77. Yes. Correct. Did you ask me that in the Facebook? Are you asking me again? I think somebody asked me best DMR radio, and I said GD77. Actually, that's usually the radio I recommend. Yeah. Okay. Well, we polished off the Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout. I'd put that in a solid try it for those that like Imperial Stouts barrel aged. It's good. Wow! Thank you so much, Ken K. Appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Oh well, thank you. He says, I appreciate your work and willingness to share. Thank you. That means a lot. Oh, what was asked on Discord? Somebody said something. He said it was asked on Discord. I do need a utility belt, that is true, but bandolier preferred. Jas Key0M. What's up, Josh from Colorado? Have to research tomorrow. Okay, take it easy. Rick Caldill says, Hoshnasi is the BaoFeng boy and his sidekick, DMR Dilly Tilly. It's BaoFeng Man. BaoFeng Man. It's beer or radio money, nothing else. Kind of true. Jason says, I asked you on Facebook. I get that asked a lot, man. William Blayton, good link. Everybody that's in the chat, William Blayton, n2yo.com is where you want to go if you want to see where the ISS is and you want to be prepared for the SSTV. So go there and listen. Really, we can. You know what? I'll show you. I'll show you right here. So just because I'm a big supporter of this, where is my app? So on the iPhone, will this show? It's not going to show that well. There's an app called SSTV. Okay, so if you click SSTV, it's this Black Cat Systems, and it's just going to be. It's very simple. It's very, very simple, right? Very simple. Very simple. So all you're going to do is you're just going to hold the radio up, and so you're going to use the parallel line to track the wherever the satellite, it is a satellite, but wherever the ISS is, and you're going to take that microphone, you're going to keep it right up against the speaker, the BaoFeng, and you're going to follow the whole pass. And what's going to happen is instead of being this, oh, it's green, you can't see it. Instead of being this whatever green, you will probably pick up something. So I will, let me caveat, do they tell you what the mode is that they're going to be using? PD120. Okay, so you need to click on the top here, and you need to change it from robot to PD120. Good call out. So it's always going to be PD120. You don't need to leave it in auto. All ISS passes are generally PD120, if I remember correctly. Yes, I agree, Zach. I agree. Android Robot 36 is good for SSTV. I use that on the Android phones that I use too. Very good. Yeah. William Blanton, question for the pass: how close does it have to pass your? So I'll show you. Let me show you. You know what? Let me do this. I can show you on my phone directly then. Nope. What's that about? Is that it? What's going on here? Okay. Joe Jibba Jabba. Get the call sign out there. Okay, so I'm gonna go off of this, and I use something called GoSat Watch, which is it focusing? Not focusing. GoSat Watch. So what it'll do, I have all the ham radio satellites queued up here, but what it'll do is this is all passes based on time. And so the next ISS pass is at 4:52 a.m. And if I look here, it says an 18 degree pass. So that means the high point of the pass is 18 degrees above the horizon line. So if you're tilted over this way, so if the horizon line is along here, then the highest it's going to get is an 18 degree declination above the horizon line. That's going to be the peak, and it's going to come around that point. If anything, a vertical antenna is better in those situations of 10 to 35 because it's kind of coming at them from the side, and that's where verticals do best if the signals are coming from the side. So you can make it work. I've gotten images before off of a 15 degree, not great. You can see it, parts of it, but you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the patron saint of Fang. I've got that picture somewhere. 86DM. I think I've got to get it into the rotation for the memes. I really like this GoSat watch. I really like this GoSat watch because... So, what's coming up? I've got a pass in... So, AO92... Oh, that's horrible. Man, these passes are... Oh, AO85 at 84 degrees. So it gives you a line exactly of where it's going to cross you on north, south, east, west. So, and it gives you direction. So it's going from north, northwest to south, southeast. So then you go, okay, great. But what you can do with this, which is really, and why this is really cool is it'll update it in real time. It'll start here and it'll start working its way across. So you'll know where to point because you just align this. You just align this above your head. You go, okay, that's north, and then you just go, okay, here it goes, boom, and that's all you got to do. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. ISS detector is great for tracking S in the sky for us. And oh, okay, good. Yeah. Wait, you said it's also. I agree completely because I have. No, I have ISS Spotter. ISS Spotter is not nearly as good because it's just for the International Space Station. It's not for anything else. Okay, I'll have to try that. ISS Tracker. Wicked Perfect, 18 degree altitude rather than declination. Is it declination based off of your location, meaning angle? So if you were the point of a triangle, and the horizon was another point, and then it was up 18 degrees from your position, it would be that much declination. Am I wrong? It's not 18-degree altitude? That doesn't seem right. Anyway, if it is, I apologize profusely. Okay, I will take final questions, and then we're going to cut this, and we're going to go to Discord, and I will be working FT8. In fact, can I... I'm going to get that started right now. I'll wait for the questions to come in while I set up my FT8. Do we have anybody that can work FT8 in the house? Any FT8 gurus ready to try and rock some QSOs? Let me turn this back over to me. Actually, I really like this. This is my favorite. I really like this warning. It's like I'm looking right at it. It's like, always be warned. FTM 400 DXR or ID 5100A. I am woefully unequipped to answer that question. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to go to the HRO and I'm going to answer that question. And it'll probably be next week. FTM 400 XDR or 5100. Yeah, sadly, I mean, you may think that I get access to all the radios on Earth, but I really don't. So, in a lot of ways, what I buy is what you see. There are some cases where I have been shipped radios before, but they're generally the Chinese radios, and as much as I enjoy a BaoFeng here and there, I mean, a lot of my time is spent with Japanese radios. So, my 7300, for example, I bought that, of course. Bought my antenna that's going on the roof. And I was asked, is my antenna up? It's not up yet. Electrono, it has to go to bed because he's pouring concrete in the morning. Is it for your, you putting up a tower? Corey Davis asks, can you share the Discord info or link? If you go to the description, the link is there. But Zach may still be in the chat, so he might post it. And Wicked Perfect, also known as Zeus, says, so hungry. So hungry. Randall Harris asks, how can I talk around the world on my handheld 2-meter radio? Get DMR. And then be fully assisted by the internet. So, I mean, maybe... I probably should mention it in the... Oh, there's Zach with the link. I probably should mention it in next week's discussion on QSOs. This is a line of sight radio. When I'm shooting my RF out of here, it's line of sight. It gets stopped by mountains. It gets stopped by the curvature of the Earth. And it will not bounce against the atmosphere. There's a reason we use this for satellite communication. It's because it's line of sight. This will not bounce. It will not refract, or not refract. It will not do skip. What am I thinking of? And it doesn't matter. It won't bounce. Uh-oh. Thomas says, passed my technician exam on Saturday. Got my call yesterday. KI5CBN. Thanks for your help. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate the $5. I really appreciate that. So, you can't bounce your signal off the atmosphere. That's what gives us this great range with HF, because we've got bigger antennas, and the RF itself is not line of sight because it goes out. It has these different angles of attack that bounce against the ionosphere. This doesn't. It hits the ionosphere and it goes, ha-ha, and pierces right through. Just BaoFengs, just little mini BaoFengs just flying out of your antenna and just piercing the ionosphere. That's why we use VHF and higher to talk to satellites. 900 megahertz, 24 megahertz, all those are what we use to talk to satellites. Not only because it can pierce the atmosphere, but also because we can put a whole lot of data behind it too. So that's a lot of reason we use that. So yeah, you can't talk around the world, but VHF, UHF, really good for working. So you can talk around all the United States, continental United States, with a BaoFeng if you utilize low Earth orbiting satellites. If you talk on an antenna that can work a dual band satellite, an FM satellite, then you can work all states. There are people who have worked all states using the FM birds. That is an amazing goal. That is an amazing goal if you consider how difficult that is. I think that working satellites FM is one of the hardest things you can do on a ham radio. Hardest things. Other than working... So the thing with working satellites is you know it can do it. The bird can do it. It's up to you to figure out how to make it work. Everything else, like skip propagation, meteor scatter, moon bounce, that's just your luck in how the propagation gods favor you. But working satellite, that's when you're really... It's you, man. It's really on you. So, well, this was a bit of a hodgepodge. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thomas says, I'm watching through the general class playlist now, hoping to upgrade in a few weeks. Right on. Great. Congratulations. And let me know how you do. Please join the Facebook group, Ham Radio Crash Course, and join the Discord, where I'm going to be heading in a couple of minutes here. Randall Harris says, how in the world did you do that off of a repeater? What do you mean, sir? I'm talking about a low Earth orbit satellite. So the satellite, depending on where the satellite is, you could be talking out to it as it's got a really good propagation down to whatever part of the country it's flying over. So there are people who've got worked all states with satellites. Maybe not in the location, maybe not where I'm at in California. I probably can't hit Maine from a satellite. But if I was somewhere in the middle of the country or I moved around a little bit for vacation, I probably could. Uh-oh. Zach's posting crazy links out there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Let's continue this chat over on Discord. I'd love to talk to you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, got to thank my patrons. Very important people. A lot of the things I'm doing behind the scenes lets me do what I do. For instance, one of my next videos is going to be utilizing this USB microscope. So we're going to be able to get all up in a project that I screwed up on. And I had to call for help to fix it. Could it be? Could it be the Hilltopper 20? Which you can't see because it's a green screen. But yeah, Hilltopper 20. I had to call for help to get this thing to work. And it does. And I'm... Oh, look at that. I love that. This is a lot of fun. I don't play around enough with the green screen. I could just turn this on anytime I want, but no. So, patrons. All right, Michael Nieswender, William Horton, Chris Ebert, Carrie Blackwell, who I talked to earlier today on the Instagram chat. Thank you for coming out there. Jason Siebert, David Dansero, Danny Miller, Franklin Lewis, Brad Snyder, Ben Kellum, Dean Johnson, Kenneth Miyamoto, Andy. Big shout out to Andy on the Instagram, on the Twitter live stream, posted links to the Discord and posted links to the live stream. Thank you very much for doing that. That's what he mentioned earlier, the Ghost Topper 20. I like that, Zach. That's what he mentioned earlier. It's like I was Zach on the other chats. He kind of was. He stepped in. That was great. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, Andy. Michael Baxter, new patron, the Colorado Ham. That sounds delicious. Gareth Broadhead, Dennis Dunder. Gareth Broadhead, we were able to get his QSL card and sticker to him in the UK. I was really worried about that. I'm glad it made it to you, buddy. Anthony, Justin Blackburn, Garrett Larson, the infamous No Name, Mark McCarty, Dennis Mickelson. It's Mickelson. George Gaini, Jason Brown, Richard Dragon, KG6WFR, Mark Chase, Corwin Crandall, also new, Ron Thornson, also new, and of course, the Brew Crew, drinking out of my Sandmig cup for today. Good beer, good beer. What was the beer again? The Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout by the Epic Brewing Company. This is a part of their Exponential series. I'm not a religious guy, but this beer is pretty good. So, would recommend. I'll post the review and my thoughts to the beer on the Brew Crew link, which is off of Patreon. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Newsletter is going to be coming out at the end of the month. It's $1 to get the newsletter. And yeah, check out all the links for Facebook, Patreon, Discord. They're all in the description. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm off to Discord. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Just click the button now. Bye-bye.